Hello everyone and welcome back to another Commander deck video. Today I'm going to be showing my cat deck featuring Jetmir, Nexus of Revels. I'm just trying to get a bunch of creatures out, get those abilities going. Let's go ahead and get started. So we have Basri, tomorrow's champion. You need to protect your cats, go ahead and cycle them. Or create a cat creature token with lifelink. Got a Johnny, Pariah. Another way to make some cat tokens. And then the other side here, we've got the Avenger. Pretty cool. I really like the transform cards. Rescos Explorer. So if my opponents have more lands, go search for some planes. Got the Pride Mage. I mean, why not? Fleece Mane Lion. The Monstrosity 1 ability. Give it hexproof and indestructible. Black Market Tycoon. Make a treasure token. And then hopefully you can use them so that you don't get 2 damage dealt to you for each treasure you control during your upkeep. King of the Pride. Just a little buff. Arabo, the first Fang. It's a good way to buff your cats, and then whenever it or another cat enters, create a token. Pride Sovereign. You can exert them and create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. Realm Walker. Changeling, so it counts as a cat. You can play cat spells off the top of your library. Feline Sovereign. So a little bit of a buff. And then whenever 1 or more cats you control deal combat damage to a player, can take out an artifact or enchantment. Hopefully. Rimaz, King of Oreskos. Just whenever he attacks or he blocks, create a cat token. Prowling, Serpapard. Just make the creature spells uncounterable. Tahira, the Orphan Guard. So it gives each other creature that's a cat, you get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Miri, Weatherlight Duelist. Pretty cool. Whenever she attacks, each opponent can't block with more than 1 creature. So if you have Jetmir's abilities going, that's nice. And as long as Miri's tapped, more than 1 creature can attack you each combat. So the only thing that really messes with that part is if Miri has vigilance, which is pretty likely with some of the other creatures in this deck, especially Jetmir. If you have 3 or more creatures, they have vigilance. So We have Kutsul, the Exemplar. It's a little bit of control there. You can't cast spells during your turn. And then each creature you control with greater power than its base power, so Jetmir giving it +1/+0 or whatever, can draw a card. Cub Warden can mutate it, create a couple of tokens. Jazal Goldmane. So if you attack with 10 creatures, pay 5, and they each get +10/+10. Leonin War Leader. So an attack trigger there. Create some more cat tokens. Sunspine Lynx. Just a way to deal some damage for each non-basic land to each player. Sovereign Okenic. I like this one. Whenever it attacks, each creature you control with power greater than the creature's base power. So Jetmir would help there. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on that creature equal to the difference. So Jetmir and the other cats that give them +1/+1, a little bit of a buff. Marisi, Breaker of the Coil. So your opponents can't cast spells during combat. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you go to each creature that player controls. Alright, we got the Regal. Other cats get +1/+1 and have lifelink. And when he enters, you create 2 cat creature tokens. Roxanne, Starfall Savant. So whenever she enters the battlefield or attacks, you create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite, which when it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target, and you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. And whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, you add 1 mana of any type, so you double the mana. Fabine, Boss is Confident. Creature tokens you control have haste, and then you can parlay. So each player would reveal the top of their library. For each land card revealed this way, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. Then creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn for each non-land card revealed this way. Then each player draws a card. Got the Phantom Nishova. So a trample lifelink enters with 7 +1/+1 counters. And if damage will be dealt to it, remove a counter from it instead. That's all for the creatures. And I put quite a few Johnny Planeswalkers in here. Especially the ones that create cat creature tokens, if you can get it that far. So I got the Caller of the Pride, a Johnny Adversary of Tyrants. So if you get that emblem, you can create more cat creature tokens with lifelink. A Johnny Strength of the Pride can create a Johnny's Pride Mate. A Johnny Vengeant. A Johnny Mentor of Heroes. You know what? I'd like to gain 100 life. As long as I don't have Sunspine Leaks out. And that one was an iffy. I just liking the fact that if you're going to buff up your creatures, damage can't be prevented. So that's it for the Planeswalkers. We have Soul Ring, Arcane Sigs, Fellwar Stone, Mind Stone. Really like those pay 2 mana rocks. Conjurer's Mantle. So whenever equipped creature attacks, you can look at the top 6 cards and reveal a card that shares a creature type and put it into your hand. Asika's Chariot. Create some cat tokens. Banner of Kinship. Enters with a fellowship counter on it for each creature you control of the chosen type, so I would choose cats, obviously. And then if I have, let's say, 5 cats out, creatures would get +5/+5. Sterling Grove. It's always nice to be able to search for an enchantment. Renewed Solidarity. So I could choose creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+0. So that'll give you more than the base power for some of the other abilities. And then at the beginning of your end step, for each token you control of the chosen type that entered this turn, create a token that's a copy of it. Beastmaster Ascension. Mainly in here because of the cat picture, but get a bunch of tokens and you have them attack. For each one that attacks, you can put a quest counter on Beastmaster Ascension, and if you have 7 or more counters on it, creatures you control get +5/+5. Rhythm of the Wild. Creature spells you control can't be countered. And they have Riot, so they either enter with a +1/+1 counter or with haste. Felidar Retreat. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, choose one. You can create a cat creature token, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control when they gain vigilance until end of turn. Parallel Lives. Try to double your tokens. And Doubling Season. Double your counters or tokens. Rampant Growth. Cultivate. Just get them lands. If you got a Felidar Retreat out, you can get those abilities rolling. Kodama's Reach. Harmonize. Decimate. The only thing I don't like about Decimate is you have to destroy one of each. So if you cast this and you have the only enchantment on the board, see a piece. Shamanic Revelation. Draw a card for each creature you control. And if Jetmir's, if I got 9+ out, gain 4 life for each creature you control, power 4 or greater. Again, I might want to take out the Sunspine Links, put something else in. There was there's a couple of cats that I'm missing. I don't have them. There's a pay 1 cat, I believe from Modern Horizons 3, that I don't have. And there's a pay 4. It's 2 colorless, a white and a green. It's a ridiculous cat. It's pretty expensive. I don't have that one either. Got a Hour of Reckoning. Really like the Fallout cards. Take care of all non-token creatures. Swords to Plowshares. Pretty given there. Heroic Intervention. Rite of Harmony. This one I was iffy about. I do like the flashback. And if I can create a bunch of tokens, I can draw some cards. Boros Charm. Mainly in there for the make things indestructible. Artifact Mutation. So if there's a high casting artifact out, and create some sapperling creature tokens. So they're not cats, but the more creatures, the merrier. There is a pay a white and a green that destroys an enchantment. I do not have that one, but it does pretty much the same thing. Chaos Warp, pretty self-explanatory there. Beast Within. Gotta have a few removal spells. Balance out the deck. White Sun Zenith. Create those cat creature tokens. Instant Speed. Shuffle it back into your library. March of the Multitudes. Now, no cats here, but it has Convoke. So even if I can get, you know, white soldier creature tokens, a bunch of them. Hopefully Jetmir's out. Take the Bait. So you cast this only during an opponent's turn and only during combat. You prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to you and planeswalkers you control this turn. Then you untap all attacking creatures and goad them. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So, a little tricky card there for fun. And Sylvan Reclamation. And search for a basic land, where you can exile up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. And that's it for the spells for Jetmir. We have Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Path of Ancestry. That's a must. Unclaimed Territory. Choose a creature type, and you can add 1 mana to cast a creature spell of that type. 3 Tree City. So when it enters, choose a creature type, and then you can pay 2 tap, choose a color, and add amount of mana of that color equal to the number of creatures you control of that type. Windswept Heath. Wooded Foothills. Do not have an Arid Mesa for this deck. Temple Garden. Stomping Ground. I do not have a Sacred Foundry either for this deck. So lands mainly focus on green because the majority of the spells have green. Scattered Groves. Sheltered Thicket. Fortified Village. Game Trail. Alright, got the temples in here. Go ahead and do your Scry 1. Temple of Triumph. Temple of Abandon. Sunpetal Grove. Clifftop Retreat. Rootbound Crag. Battlefield Forge, Carpluson Forest, Sungrass Prairie, Mossfire Valley, Jungle Shrine, Castle Ardenvale, just a way to create a creature token, Oran Reef, the Vast Wood, Animal Sanctuary, put a counter on a cat, Gavany Township, Kessig Wolf Run, Ghost Quarter, and we have 2 plains, 2 mountains, and 2 forests. And that'll do it for Jetmir. I just had just some cats lying around from over the years, and I thought, why not? Jetmir's pretty cool. So there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share it with your friends. If you have any comments, you want me to take out that links, which I might do. If I had that pay 4 cat, I think it's also in Secret Lair. If I had that one, I think I'd for sure put that one in. But yeah, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, you guys have a good one.